This here is just oscilloscope lead hanging in the way here. Now if I adjust my horizontal hold, it does this. And I have my negative 45 there. Here's what's going on here. Now I'll shift the horizontal hold here. Okay, now it's going screwy on me. But I can shift this back and forth. Oh, it's going crapping out on me here. I'm not sure if that's my scope doing that, or I try hitting these pots and stuff. I'm afraid to spray them. Shut that off. Anyways, I have this flyback hooked up to here. And on this point B, where the green is hooked up, I have a, I think it's a 47 picofarads at 2 or 3 K volts. And I have that hooked up to here, the purple wire. I was hoping for a better horizontal stabilization, but that ain't happening. What am I hooked up to? Okay, I'm hooked up. Let's see. I have one hooked up to my control grid because I lost my high voltage and I couldn't figure out why. So I'm hooked up here again, and my other one I believe is on this side of the 270K. So that would be my bottom waveform, I think. But anyways, that purple wire is this lead right here from the flyback. It's supposed to be very low to ground, 1.5 ohms. That's the purple wire. And I don't have a tap like that. This is my flyback in the TV set. And I have this hooked up. So this is my boost. It's the only thing that hooks to that, and the bottom of my deflection coils. My deflection coils hook up here, here, and here. And this is what I just hooked the purple wire up through the 47 picofarad. I put it on point B. This goes to my cathode of my 38HE7 damper. So have to have the capacitor, because this is like, my boost is measuring almost like close to 500 volts. It's supposed to be 380, so I had to put that capacitor to get me away from the power supply or the high boost voltage, whatever. So let's see. So my right one is yellow, and yellow is hooked up to, this is the pink one, hooked up to the control grid. So yellow is hooked up to that 270K resistor. Adjust my horizontal hold again. So I get this phase stuff. Crazy stuff. So I don't know if the flyback plays a role. I did replace that this detector bit. I just removed it and put a test point sticking straight out there so I can hook my scope to it. The bottom side of the circuit board has my two diodes. I have two diodes hooked up. Two diodes from the 1970s, glass ones. I don't know. It calls for a 1N60. They had those on eBay, but they had so dang many of them. I'm gonna take that down a bit. They had like 100 of them for like real cheap, and I thought, well, they're probably all bad, so I didn't buy any. So the top one is my control grid. It's on the far end of the 68 ohm resistor. I moved it away from the control grid because that gets too damn hot. So I'll do my horizontal hold here once. That's my horizontal hold. That jumping, I don't know what the hell it is. It's my scope. And I did solve my missing absent video and sound. It was this can. This can right there. Can't see it. I'm practically in the dark here. That one right there. When I was tapping on it with my bamboo chopstick, I think I broke it loose. So what I'm going to do here, just for the heck of it, shut it off. And I'm going to, that's on 50 and that's on 0.5. So I'm going to change that to 0.5 and this one to 50. Okay. I'm going to do a swap here. Because I know when I adjust the bottom one, it affects my upper, so I got some kind of crosstalk or something's going on here. I don't know what. Okay, back on. Okay. Just might have to adjust those pots a little bit. Fine tuning. Let's do get a little more in the picture, a little less. I don't know what to have. So now the bottom is my control grid of the horizontal output. Again, it's on the far side of the 68 ohm resistor. And I'm pretty sure that's a 47 picofarad. I know one way to find out. $47 5K volts. I use this. I have reading glasses on. Then I use this for a magnifier. She's going off the top of the screen here. Let's pull her down. I think I'd advance this a little more and put it up a smidge. I think I'll tuck this one back. So I'm at the control grid here. What the hell is it? Is that it? No. Horizontal oscillator. That's the control grid of the horizontal oscillator. Wrong one. Okay, my probe is hooked up this yellow spot here. So I should get that sawtooth. Yeah, I think it says 7875. At 18 volts, I think. And the other side is hooked up here on this side of the 68 ohm resistor. I should get that. 7875 at 120 volts. It's not a decimal point there. 120 volts. Negative 45 control grid DC. Boost voltage, I'm getting about damn near real close to 500 volts. 475 or something. Way more than I'm supposed to have. But like I say, I put both of these diodes on the bottom of the circuit board. And a test point here. If I hook up to there, of course I don't get that. I get some screwy ass thing. But I hooked up to the control grid of the horizontal output, because I didn't have high voltage, and here I had these wires here hanging loose, and they swung into the horizontal windings and fouled me up. So that's adjusting a horizontal hold. Got nothing there. Damn close. And I replaced it many parts in the horizontal oscillator section. So I'm thinking it's this SOB. Because I got my negative 45 volts there covered. But I was thinking of wrapping some windings around this part. But I think that would be a waste of time. I don't think I could do that. It'd take a lot of windings, and I don't know if I could do that. So then I didn't know what's going on here, if it was my oscilloscope screwing up on me, so I went back to this thing I got. This is a power supply to an organ that I had that I was going to throw away. And then when I bought the oscilloscope, I soldered all these wires back together. I cut them all off when I got this power supply bit, but now I use it for hooking up AC voltage to the scope, looking at the sine waves, and then I hook a single diode up to it for a halfway rectifier, and I hook a different value the capacitors up and check it. So I was doing that again. That's why I have this out. This was the AC side. I don't hook that up. The highest voltage here is the red, and I think it's 100 volts. The greens were 12 volts. This white is center tap to everything except for the green. The greens are just on its own, so it's a center tap to the yellows, center tap to the blues, and center tap to the reds. So got all these diodes, and I removed a transistor from there. I wish I wouldn't have. Some kind of a voltage regulator or something, and some other parts, capacitors or whatever. I was repairing some PV decade amplifiers, so that's why I took this thing. I seen it in the garbage, so I was using it for parts. But it's good to work with my scope. So after hooking that up to my power supply, I figure the scope is clean. So that is the TV. So I think this is the farthest I'll get. I get sound. I can hook a converter up. It's kind of wacky. You see like a picture on this side, and it gets a fold over, like it gets a lighter picture on top of the main picture or something. It folds over and does all kinds of weird horizontal things. The vertical is tight, never have to adjust the vertical hold. So I think that's about it with this one. I would like to see this stabilized before I park it, but it does need the flyback. The flyback is shorted. It will not run. Will not get no high voltage or nothing with that. I'll hook it back up before. Where is it? Flyback there. Yeah. Then I got this flyback. This one here has one of those goofy 4-prong rectifier tubes. I don't even know what that tube number is. This is for an Admiral, I think. I have the paperwork for it so I could hook it up. But this was a 90-degree scan. And mine takes a 110-degree scan. My TV. And this one here also is a 110-degree scan. I don't know what that means, but if I had one of those rectifiers, I'd hook this up. But I don't know the number, unless if I can find it in a manual or something. So, might as well shut her off. What's today's 10/1 of 2020. Beginner's Corner.